Dear brothers and sisters, thank you very much again for always taking time to be with us. It's our pleasure to always come to you with these encouraging words. We'll be looking at today's funerals today. How do we do funerals these days? We are going to look at that critically in this edition of program. Man of God, welcome again.
Thank you, man of God.
I'm happy that you are always here to keep our people. And that's why you see the Bible saying that they should support the preachers.
That's true.
Because it's sacrifice.
Big sacrifice.
Yes, you abandon other things to make sure that you do the needful, drawing the people to Christ by encouraging, educating, equipping, and planting them into the truth that will, of course, sustain, keep them, and give them salvation.
Amen.
Let's talk about today's funeral. Today we discover that the way we used to do funerals before. Do you know that even men of God make money from dead people?
They make huge sums of money from dead people.
When a person dies and the family goes and pay money for communion that will be taken, what is the benefit of it to the dead man? So if they don't take the communion, that dead man will not be buried. Or if he is to go to heaven, he will not go again if they have to take. Why are they even taking communion when people are dead? When somebody's dead.
I don't know.
Why are they taking it during somebody's funeral? And they even say it's the death. They say it's the last feast with the person.
Yes.
Somebody's dead and he cannot eat. But say it's
and the same person, when he was sick, nobody, including pastor, ever visited him.
Exactly.
You see now when he dies, you see people, protocols coming up. You see donations and contributions, whereas this was somebody who never had paracetamol to quench pains, to even kill some of the pains he was undergoing and torture.
Do you know that when people die, there are even pastors and churches that say they should come and pay their debt?
That is
the
it.
card that they are marking, because they have a card they are marking tithe, they are marking the days of communion, yearly rate, and if you don't give these things when you die, the pastors refuse. That do not come and do your funeral.
They refuse
until the family comes and pay this debt.
That is it.
And I was asking myself that if the individual is to go to hell because he has not paid the debt, are they living that buying the place of the debt?
I don't
mean that poverty will be true.
That's it.
Meaning that the man who is living is coming to pay your debt that you are dead.
Yes.
So meaning that we can still pay money for people who have died in sin, and then God will still rescue them.
God will still
and
rescue
send them to heaven. You see what money is doing?
Yes. And when they bring them, they start asking, "Are you a Christian?" If he was not a Christian in the congregation, or maybe brought by the parents, or brought by each and every of the one of the family member, you have a certain amount to pay before they can conduct the funeral.
Yes, you must pay, and in some cases, that's why you see some churches they don't do funeral service in front of the door, only because they want that you should come to the church. So
yes.
They trick the family, collect money from the family.
That is it.
I'm not seen something like in our own place here, where we now have Thanksgiving when somebody dies. What is the meaning? The family, after they have collected the funeral offering, the family will still go and stand on the long line and they put money again and come and give you a Thanksgiving. What is happening?
Some say they want to offer services or masses to be praying for them so that
they will leave poverty.
Yes, they may leave poverty, meaning small hair fire now to heaven. I don't know if God had created a small fire that it means each and every one of us are sinners, because they do it even for those who were vibrant in church and they were regular in all their things. They don't even have debt. They still collect the same amount of money. I don't get to understand the whole issue of it. Whether God is raising the sinners in the church or in the synagogues, or God is raising the hypocrites. I don't get to understand.
And this issue that you see, they ask families that people should go and stand on the line and bring money. Often they don't account for all this money. They just take. How can somebody be in a situation where somebody has been sick, that spend money, go to the mutual, they have spent money, they are still going to give you food and drink. You are still going to stand on the line, come and make Thanksgiving and for thanking you for what?
And maybe children have stopped schooling for some number of years because their father or mother has been sick. And then you are still taxing them on that situation. But man of God, what baffles me is, what do they do with all of these collections? Because at the end of it, I've not heard.
Don't you see them paying bribe to enter their seminary? Because they know that is the way they use the name of the Lord, to make their money. They are not even ashamed. They wear black gown looking so clerical, but so wicked and so demonic and evil in
Satanic.
their way of behaving. They have no sympathy for people when they're in trouble.
Just imagine.
Man, well, let's also look at the people's behavior in funerals of today. Do you know that people go to funerals today to go and eat and drink?
That is the
People-
first thing that comes to their mind.
People leave funeral today and say there was not enough food,
And
there was
many,
not enough drink.
and many don't even cook in their homes. They
Oh,
even
okay.
tell children today they don't cook in this house because people should prepare fast. That way, keeping down there. We will meet in Pa Thomas' house today. That is, people should prepare very well and go.
Some people, before we used to see people when there is a funeral, you see somebody holding some wine.
Small basket.
Yes, women
Yes.
holding basket to
I'm
go there
telling you.
and condone with that family. Today,
Yes.
people will bathe, girls will put their lip and so on.
Put eyelashes,
Yes, and so
put
on,
nails.
and then go there. They are not going there to mourn, but to go there and see if there's enough food to eat and drink. If there is not, they will live from there grumbling, complaining, not
Yes.
even caring whether the family, what have they passed through? Do they even have the capacity to give them what they want?
They don't even care. Some
You
go
yourself, you are asking, you have gone there to, because the Bible is talking in Romans chapter 12, from verse 14, that we should mourn with those who mourn, and we should rejoice with those who rejoice. So if you are going, what have you gone with that you are requesting? And even, let me tell you, even some that used to even go with something, they will go with a very big flask with some small food under. While leaving, the flask will be full.
the flats will be full. Some even go empty-handed, but they are expecting to come back with something,
Exactly.
with a package. And then, man of God, what baffles me so much is many of them don't even go there in the context of money. Even if you are going to mourn with them, normally you must eat something or drink something. Whether you come back with complaint or not, the highest sacrilege is most of them even go there to look for their boyfriends and girlfriends.
Of course.
They go there is
And
a
now
forum
that they
to
put
look for
music,
their-
the whole
Yes.
night they are there doing romanticism.
Yes.
They are romancing themselves.
You go
doing all
to
of those things.
you go to a funeral ground in the morning, you see littered used condoms everywhere.
In a funeral.
In a funeral ground.
Can you imagine?
When there was wakekeeping, the next morning you see a lot of wonders around. Just get to
Do you also know that these young men go to funerals these days, drink a lot of alcohol, and even fight?
even wound themselves? Some
Can you
even
imagine?
die. Some even die.
In a funeral, we are still mourning somebody. You can't come down cause mayhem.
I'm
Not
telling
only
you.
that, you wound other people.
I'm
Are we
telling
there
you,
to mourn, or we are there for something else?
you increase the stress, and maybe sometimes the military will come there and gather people. Even the bereaved, you gather them, go and lock them up, and they have to go and pay you some money to pay
Because you
themselves.
yourself, you go there and then you break a fight.
That is it.
And then people, they will fight and then tears themselves. Sometimes with bottles, knives,
telling you.
with sticks. And then at the end, instead of you, after mourning your loved one, instead of you having the peace of even see how you can recover, you are being taken by the police to go and be answering questions. I didn't
Just
spend money.
imagine, even spend money.
As though you have caused somebody to come and cause you problem.
I'm telling you.
So you can imagine the kind of situation.
So the mourners instead come and increase the problem.
Instead of comforting you,
Instead of comforting me.
they cause more problem to you.
And we hear most of them coming back from funeral grounds complaining there wasn't any food. That place not be fine. How good did you make the place? How comforting did you make the place?
And let me tell people that it's not a matter of what people say. You
I'm
have to
telling
do. You have to do things according to your ability. Don't
That's
do
true.
it comparing with anybody.
Yes.
People go and borrow money, do a lot of things, enter debt that they sometimes they don't even recover the whole of their life
I'm
because
telling you.
they say this other man kept their own father in the mortuary for 1 month. These other people kept their own mother in the mortuary for 3 weeks. So I will keep my own for 2 months. That you don't have you the money.
I'm telling you.
Just because you say, what will people say? What will people say and so what?
What will people say and so what? Man of
People
God.
are living to satisfy but people.
And because of this long throat, most of them even sell plots, some piece of land, they sell them
Yes,
just to make
Yes.
a befitting funeral.
Yeah,
to
be-
prove
yes,
themselves, show
because
themselves.
of pride.
Because of pride.
When they drink, after that, when they leave, they pee it. The food they eat,
That's
they go
it.
and put it at the toilet.
That's it.
Life continues.
Life continues.
You are the one that will be suffering now all your
Poverty is
life
still there.
to see that you recover all the money you have borrowed or.
That is it. And poverty is still there. And some even keep it like that for months. They are hoping on one of their sons or daughters who have even managed and go out of the country. And are still not yet has a good start. and all of those bills like that is looking at that son or
It's not that
daughter.
people don't know what people pass through out
I'm
there.
telling you.
If they get to know it, they will not be behaving like that. It's not easy out there.
It's not
Not
easy
everybody
at all.
out there who's having a befitting job and a
Yes.
good salary.
Yes.
So when you go and do other things you're expecting from them, you think that they only went there to go and make junk of money to come and do buffet.
I'm telling
they
you.
have their own lives to live. They have their own children, their own people, little ones in the family that they have to care for.
Yes. And the entire family, including uncles and aunties, they are still looking up to them.
Mm-hmm.
And then somebody dies, you are still leveling even the cuffs on him. Mortuary bills are escalating every day. And you're still looking at that particular individual. Yet when it comes to an end, uncles and aunties now remove their hands from it.
Do you know that so many people today wear glasses, pretend they are crying? They don't cry. Today they don't cry. People wear that. They don't mourn.
They don't mourn.
The Bible says we should mourn like Christians, not like unbelievers. But not saying that we should go and be behaving like, we are in a party. We are in a funeral.
Man, I went to one funeral.
And there must be solemnity to show that somebody has departed whom we really feel for. And we are transcending the person to the other world.
That is it.
Then you come there, you are feeling free. You are pretending. People today, even in the Old Testament, we saw how people were mourning. They had to wear sackcloth to mourn their loved one. That to show that the human life is sacred and that they feel the impact of it when it's not there.
I'm telling you. Today, you see people going to a mourning ground. They are wearing miniskirts. They can't even bend down.
They wear kolang.
Yes, wear kolang.
Do you know that even those who share food, yes, they share those food stuff in seduction.
Yes.
Looking for their marriage too.
Looking for their marriage. You are going to a funeral ground, all the parts of your body are exposed. Some are even looking like wild masquerades because of so much painting and so on and so forth. You see a lot of things. You see boys are putting trousers under their buttocks.
And you know that in the funerals, sometimes people incur challenges. Maybe they were not participating in the village. That's when they will deal with them.
That's it.
The boys who are digging grave, they leave holes inside.
That is it.
Sometimes we see situations in which the entire community refuse not to eat the food because they were not participating in the development.
Yes.
I think that when it comes to this issue, they often say that's the only opportunity for them to be able to hold that family responsible. Whereas the dead man in the coffin has finished all his dues. You are tormenting the dead because of the living that were supposed to have been disciplined on their own. You are want to spoil the man's funeral because of the character of the people
of the family members.
Can you imagine that?
I'm telling you.
So I think we should be doing things circumspectly. We should be doing things carefully, honoring, not dishonoring the dead. It's
That's
not
true,
good.
sir.
We should be careful the way we are handling funeral. Uncles come and they are making a lot of demands, tormenting the people who are alive because you claim you are an uncle.
That's it. And there's one thing, even after funerals, at first when people die like that, you see this successorship before the end of the cry die, as they call it in this our Anglophone Cameroon section. They say before the end of the cry die, they must have put the successor of that person. But most of these uncles and aunties, they refuse to do that. Because maybe they are looking for a cooked means to partake in the man's property, to sell some of those assets and make wealth for themselves and so on. You see, they come in, torment the family, set the children in confusion, and a lot of things are happening. So you see, like somebody would die before even they put the person down 6 feet, they are already sold pieces of land.
Sometimes there is fighting,
yes,
quarreling, and sometimes even a lot of spiritism begin to manifest.
Yes.
Because of somebody who has worked hard to survive, and others are only waiting for him to die so that they can start fighting in their laziness on the things he has now left behind. We need to be very, very. Today we have discovered from this program that pastors are making advantage of the dead. Community people are making advantage of the dead.
Yes.
The people who in the community are rather happy to come and eat and drink, not to even come and support that family. It is so shameful that our morality is dropping into the mud.
I'm telling you.
The better we wake up and begin to put back these values, that we begin to carry basket of food, go in there, carry something. Not just we should graduate from that character and attitude of just going to a funeral, but move with something to also go and condone with the family.
That is
not only going to, people are complaining how there's no food, there's no. Why did you contribute? People have suffered, and all that you could know is to come and say there's no food, there's no drink, this, and the drink that talk about is this beer. Beer is very expensive. Beer is very, very expensive.
Can you imagine they are buying a bottle of beer for about 800 francs, close to 1,000?
And you want to drink your own one.
And you want to drink not just one. Some drink one and they are still complaining that I came in.
That's why people go and disgrace themselves because they go and take food that is heaping on the plate. Sometimes even turn on them. Some tie will go inside and choose soup and all.
Some even quarrel on the food and drink.
I mean, you can imagine that.
And it's still standing there.
It's a very sad situation. Okay. Dear brothers and sisters, thank you very much for being part of this edition of the program. God bless you.